You feel the sweat running down your back, pooling at the edge of your shirt. The Jeep hums beneath you, headlights off, crawling along a dirt road a mile from the border. The man in the passenger seat grips the dash. His knee bounces. He smells like fear, cheap deodorant over stale sweat. You pull up behind a cluster of mesquite trees. Your fingers drum the wheel. No one speaks. You wish you could say this is a life or death emergency. Some noble thing. The truth is, this is just Tuesday now. You tell yourself it's only temporary, a one-time thing, maybe two. Because you don't do this. You've never done this. But here you are, heart thumping in your throat, waiting for the signal. A single flash from a busted flashlight, way out past the barbed wire. That's the cue. That's when you go. You've rehearsed this in your mind 10 times since sundown. Your cousin's voice playing on loop. You're just the driver. You don't see anything. You don't know anything. You wish it was that easy. You clench your jaw. 3 figures appear out of the brush. All hunched shoulders and nervous glances. Their clothes are torn, caked with dust. One carries a threadbare backpack. The other 2, nothing. They duck into the back. Not a word. You don't ask questions. You know better than to ask. The first mistake is thinking you can remain invisible. That you're just background noise in someone else's story. The border checkpoint looms ahead. Lights, dogs, agents in green uniforms. Your hands tighten around the wheel. You think about your daughter's hospital bills piling up, the pink envelope stacked on your kitchen table. That's why you're here, you remind yourself. Not for the money, not for the thrill. For her. You glance in the rearview mirror. The woman in the middle bites her lip so hard it bleeds. She cradles her stomach. The other 2, boys, maybe 20, if that, stare at their shoes. Most of them aren't criminals, not what you'd expect. They look like neighbors, cousins, people you might nod to at the market. Most of them are just desperate. You remind yourself you're not the reason they're here. You're just the driver. The checkpoint looms. 2 uniformed agents wave you forward. You breathe slow, shallow breaths, like you're sipping air through a straw. "Where you headed?" the agent says, voice flat. "Back from seeing family," you mumble, keeping your eyes low. He shines a flashlight through the window, over your face, over the empty passenger seat, across the kids' toys on the floorboard. His light stops at the back window, lingers. You don't look in the mirror. You grip the wheel until your knuckles go white. The agent steps away. Another comes forward, checks the trunk with a gloved hand. You hear a voice, muffled. "Move along." Your chest unclenches. You drive. 1 mile, 2, 5. The trees swallow the lights behind you. You tell yourself it's over. That's the last time. But you know that's a lie. 3 nights later, your phone rings at 2 in the morning. You stare at the screen. You recognize the number. That same knot in your gut tightens. The voice is curt. Instructions, not a conversation. A different meeting spot this time. A different route. You agree before you can stop yourself. That's the second mistake. You think about your daughter's tiny hand gripping yours in the hospital bed. You think about her laugh, her cough, the way she says "Papa" when she's scared. You need this. You try to believe that. The next job is bigger, more people, less warning. You find yourself driving a different car, a battered minivan that smells like gasoline and old sandwiches. The organizer, he's never given a name, tells you to keep the windows down. You're told not to look at them. Don't talk. Don't get curious. You don't ask questions, you just drive. But tonight, the nerves feel sharper. There's a new presence in the group. A man with a hard, cold stare, hands that shake but never unclench. He carries nothing but a folded piece of paper. You notice the way the others keep distance from him. The old woman in the back clutches rosary beads, whispers under her breath. The van fills with the scent of fear. It's heavier than the heat. You take a back road, slower than you'd like. Branches whip the windshield, scraping lines in the dust. Your pulse drums in your ears. Every headlight behind you sets off alarm bells. Every siren, even far off, makes your hands sweat. A coyote darts across the road. You swerve, heart jumping. The man in the passenger seat curses under his breath, eyes locked on yours for a fraction of a second, like he's measuring something. You turn up the radio to drown out the silence. Spanish ballads. An ad for car insurance. Somewhere, a dog barks. The van is packed tight, every seat filled, bodies pressed together, breathing shallow to save air. Someone coughs. You wish you could stop. You wish you could turn back. But here's the thing, by now, you're part of the machinery. One small gear in a larger, invisible engine. You're not quite sure when you crossed the line. Maybe it was the first checkpoint. Maybe it was when you stopped seeing faces and started seeing paydays. But you keep driving, because stopping feels more dangerous than going forward. Up ahead, flashing lights bloom in the darkness. Blue, red, white. They cut through the night, spinning slow, waiting for you to make your move. You slow down, your hands clamp the wheel. No one in the van breathes. The old woman's whispering stops. The man beside you tenses, his jaw jutting out. You wonder if he'd run, if he'd bolt and leave you all behind. But he just stares ahead. The checkpoint is closer than you thought. Sentries with flashlights, uniforms, badges. You rehearse the story they told you to tell. Your throat is dry. You hope your voice won't crack. You roll down the window and force a smile. Your heart hammers so hard you feel it shaking the whole seat. The officer leans in. His breath is coffee and something bitter. He shines the light through the van. You see your own sweating face in the rear view. The old woman squeezes her beads so tight her knuckles go white. The man with the paper never looks up. The others stay stone still. "Where you headed?" the officer asks, eyes never leaving yours. You lie. The answer sounds pathetic even to you. The officer's gaze lingers. His flashlight sweeps over backpacks, cracked vinyl, stained floor mats. He seems to count the heads, lips moving, eyes narrowing. A baby whimpers in the back. The officer's face softens. Just a flicker. He hands back your papers slow, like he's searching for a reason. Then he waves you on. You drive. Not fast, not slow. Just steady. No one speaks until the flashing lights disappear in the mirror, and the highway turns black again. You want to pull over and throw up. You grip the wheel and press on. That's the night you realize you're trapped. Not by men with guns, not by fences topped with wire. Trapped by silence. By your own fear. By the sequence of choices that led you here. You tell yourself it's a one-time thing. But each job blurs into the next. Every run, the stories pile up. A mother who left her toddler behind? A teenager clutching a soggy photograph? A man who never says why he's running or from whom. Most of them aren't criminals or monsters. They're desperate. Some are angry. Some are terrified. Most are just tired. You start to know their faces. You start to hear their prayers in your sleep. You try to tell yourself you're helping. You picture your daughter's face, the hospital bracelets, the bills stacked on the kitchen table. You buy her medicine with cash the organizer leaves in a paper bag under your seat. You buy groceries, you pay the overdue rent. You tell yourself you're a provider, not a criminal. That's the story that lets you look in the mirror. But the nights get longer, the routes get riskier. One day, the minivan never comes back. A different driver takes your place. The organizer stops calling. It's over as suddenly as it began. You don't sleep for days after. You jump at every siren, every knock at the door. You keep expecting someone to come and ask questions you can't answer. But no one comes. Life resumes its slow, relentless march. Your daughter's cough fades. Her laughter returns. The hospital visits stop. The money runs out. You walk past the minivan in the junkyard once, months later. Rusted doors, shattered glass. There's a rosary tangled in the seatbelt. You stand there a long time, listening to the city breathe, remembering the faces pressed in the dark. You tell yourself you did what you had to do. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. All you know is this: there are lines you cross that you can never uncross. Even when the road ends, you carry them with you,